Hey, Hickok 45 here, coming to you from the vlog again, the vlog log. We like to talk to you from this log occasionally. It's kind of the classic vlog log. And just wanted to mainly today remind everybody that we've not won this fight. We've not done anything yet other than let people know that we are not going to be pushed around. Okay, we're not going to stand for our constitutional rights being infringed upon. Okay, we have sent that message, I think. However, you know, a lot of people could care less that are on the other side. They want our rights infringed upon. So we've got to stay after our representatives, and all the other things we're doing are great. Lots of great videos giving us wonderful information about, I don't know, just using logic in all of this. And the facts and the figures, and I think everybody's learning a lot, because every time I look at a video someone has posted on this, or it doesn't have to be a YouTube video, or may not originate on YouTube, it could be something, an interview on a mass market, you know, news station or something with someone that had some profound points to make about it, one side or the other. It's just a lot of information flowing, and more than we can all keep up with, right? But I think we're learning a lot. Hopefully, the people who live their lives based on emotion are learning something, even if they won't admit it. But anyway, we cannot let up, not one bit, because we're going to end up losing some of our rights if we do. It's hard enough to keep people motivated and into the fight, you know, involved in the game here. As it is. So if we start to think we've gotten somewhere, I don't think we're going to have a lot of guns banned. It could happen, but I think there's going to be some that they could be successful at banning if we are not fighting the good fight. And it's definitely magazines and registration and some other feel-good things that we know won't help a bit. We cannot let up, not for a minute. All this is way too important, way too important. The letters, we've got to keep writing them, keep making calls. I've had several people, I've seen comments, I wrote the letter, I thought I made some great points, and all I got back was this form letter. And you know, I keep getting the same form letter back. Hey, that's fine, as I've said before. I get those too. I'm getting them, a lot of those back, because I'm writing, and that tells me they got it. They got my letter, whether it was a personalized letter or not, or a form letter that I sent them. It lets me know they got it, and I know they're tallying them. Think about it. If you're a politician, aren't you keeping track? At least, if nothing else, maybe you're skimming them. Maybe you have a secretary skimming the letters, saying, oh, would you read these? And if it's the gun issue, Second Amendment issues, put for or against, at least tally them up. I mean, you know, out of self-interest, you're going to do that at least, right? So you know they're doing that. They're keeping track of that. Who knows how far they break them down, how many of them they read personally, how well they focus on it, whether they care what you say. We don't, you can never know that maybe. But generally speaking, we know they got it, okay? And that's my main goal. For example, my local state rep, I've written a couple of times at least, and one or two times I wrote was a kind of a form letter, and using the sites. And then I wrote a very, it was probably too long, 2-3 paragraphs, because it had to do with something, some local issue in schools and that sort of thing, Second Amendment issues. But I felt like I had some insight there, and I wanted to make sure she voted correctly and didn't let some things get attached to a bill here locally in Tennessee. And I got the same form letter back, you know. That's okay. Maybe she read it and absorbed it, but still she didn't have time to sit and write a personal letter back, you know, whatever. So I got kind of the form letter back. That's okay. I know that it's registered, okay? So anyway, you got to keep doing that. Don't let anything discourage you, because that's what really, really counts. The rallies are great, but it's the communications that are the big thing. That's the main thing. If you're not doing that, why not? What are you doing? You know, I mean, that's all that really matters in the great scheme of things. Whether or not they get elected or re-elected, that's what motivates a politician. Do I have to tell you that? So they've got to get the cards and letters coming in, the phone calls, and that's that's where it's at. You know, that is definitely where it is. We can sit around on, whether it's on videos or even at rallies, and talk about things till we're blue in the face. You know, in the gun shop, in the gun shows, and talk about how crazy some of these proposals are, and talk about laws. And it's fun, and it's interesting, and maybe we pick up a little information from that, but it doesn't go far, does it? We're preaching to the choir, so we got to get that preaching to the people, you know, that make the difference. Okay, and y'all know that. Just a reminder. It's awfully difficult to pull these things back out once they get passed. You know that. It's just difficult when the legislature's in session, when they're motivated to pass something, to do something that's going to make them feel good, and they think get them votes. You know, we're all in danger. Who was it? Was it Franklin or Thoreau? That no man's land is safe when Congress is in session. Well, that's the truth. You know, I always am amused at people getting upset about gridlock. You know, in government in Washington, we need more gridlock. Gridlock doesn't bother me. The more problems they create, you know, for us, the worse it is. You know, we need gridlock about 300 days a year, I think. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry, get a little too fired up. But anyway, it's the time we can't let up, because right now it's critical. And you know, we've had some rallies, and there's more rallies and different things going on. You may have listened to the radio show. I talked about how I thought that maybe we don't want to do a rally every week, and we want to plan better and have them a little bit more organized and that kind of thing. Well, wouldn't you know it, like the next day, I got a message from some folks organizing one in Mount Juliet here, just outside of Nashville, for next Saturday, the 23rd. It's actually the same folks that organized the first one we had here in Nashville 3 weeks ago on the 19th of January. That was kind of sponsored by the Gun Rights Across America. And as I understand, on the 23rd, there are going to be a lot of rallies, again, across the country. And they're sponsored by different organizations. Mainly it's about the Second Amendment, though. And I think some of them are a day of resistance or something like that. But this one's going to be a day of liberty. Just let you know about it, because I agree. John and I talked about it. Well, we had just about made the decision to kind of back off on this a little bit, but it's a critical time. Right now, I guess, is the most crucial time, most critical time in terms of the legislation and everything that's about to happen that they're trying to do. So we want to stay unified. And so I said, well, okay, I'll come. They want me to share a few words. Here we go again. So I'll do that. But it's Saturday the 23rd. It's at Charlie Daniels Park in Mount Juliet, which is, I think if you get off exit 226, I go over there quite often because there's a great gun shop. Well, I don't go there as often as I used to, but it's the Reloader's Bench at exit 226, and head north, and I think it's right on that road, Mount Juliet Road or North Mount Juliet Road or something. I think it's 171, but it's at Charlie Daniels Park. I've got several people who are going to speak. I think they were trying to get Charlie Daniels to talk. I don't know if, because he's a big Second Amendment supporter, I don't know if he'll be able to, or if he's even in town. I think is where it stands now. But anyway, they're billing it as, and I'll put a link in the description here, but as a day for families. Bring the family out. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad, but they've got park there, all kinds of things, play areas for kids, and it'll be kind of a Second Amendment day. So I said, okay, sounds like fun, you know, and so especially if some of you all there, it'd be fun to meet some of you maybe I haven't met, and some I have met. So if you live on that side of Nashville, out around Mount Juliet, or anywhere, hope to see you there. But that's this Saturday the 23rd, and there are going to be a lot of those around the country. So kind of check your local listings and see if anything's going on next week. Those are actually enjoyable. The last one we had in Nashville was really, really cold, but there's something, if you've not been to a rally like that, and I've not been to many of those kinds of things ever, because it's for a cause that we are so strongly supporting, I guess, and everybody there is of like mind. It's fun. I mean, anybody you talk to is a friend, put it that way, because we are all right in step on this issue, right? Regardless of religion, background, political party, even, you know. So You know, because there's people from all various political parties supporting the Second Amendment, and we try to remember that, and we welcome everybody. The friend of our, the enemy of our enemy is our friend, or something like that. So we I have to think about that one. Yeah, you know, when you're on camera, it's hard to think, and I have a hard time thinking when I'm not on camera. So you can imagine what it does for me. But anyway, wanted to make you aware of that. We're getting a lot of recommendations or a lot of requests to promote things, speaking of that. And because I have featured various videos, I'm trying to get links up and Twitter and on our feed about things that seem important or good videos. So doing a lot of that and have been for several weeks because we have a large audience, thanks to you all. But getting so much, I can't even look at it all. 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3 messages is some link or something. So it would help me if you would tell me what it is, because often it's a video that I've already seen, and I've even maybe promoted it a little bit, given linked it or in the feed, or maybe have even featured the thing, you know, for a day or something, you know, like that. So let me know what it is if you'll write me a little message. Have you seen this video with Harry Smith, you know, speaking before the Senate or something, you know, just what it is, and I'll know, because it takes a while to open them and go to something and, you know, see what it is, especially on my connection sometimes. And speaking of that too, another little house cleaning issue, I'll get a question sometimes. It's one that I can actually, that I do have time maybe to write an answer. And I do answer most messages I get. The ones I don't answer again are when it's something you're asking for a review of a certain gun. I make a mental note of that, and I've said this many times because, you know, I get hundreds of mails, hundreds of you know, every day, and so I go through them. And if it's something that I can answer pretty easily, I go in and answer it. But I make a mental note. I read everything unless it's a long, convoluted 93-line paragraph. But the requests for guns and things like that, I make a mental note and go on. Know that I read them, know that I do see them, and but I don't, you know, write a reply. Okay, we will try to get one of those, or no, I don't have one now, but we, you know, so you know, if we had one, you'd probably already seen a video on it. But I will write an answer to a video, to a message sometimes, and I'll click send, and it won't go. I'll get a red line message. You've probably seen this before. It'll say this person has contact blocked or something like that. I forget what it is exactly. I'm not sure what it is that does that or what you need to do to check or not, but please don't send me a message or a question, expect an answer. I can't even reply because I don't even know that I can't reply till after I've taken the time to write the answer. That's what's frustrating about it, I guess. That's happened to me several times when I actually write a thoughtful reply, you know, with a little bit of common sense in it, maybe even, who knows, and then it won't send. So like I said, if they cancel, go on. Meanwhile, I wrote that person a paragraph. He or she is sitting thinking, oh, Hickok doesn't care to answer my message. You know, he knows all about that gun. He wouldn't even answer my message, probably. Well, anyway, so just a little house cleaning there. Just want to let you know. Again, we get so many messages. I had a mental note there. Someone wrote me a week or so ago. It just dawned on me one day. I never did answer that guy because I get so many messages. It's not like email. It's just gone, you know, if I don't answer it right away. And it was about a target. He was wanting us to take a target he had made and going to give it to us for the range or something. I don't know. I forgot the company. I forgot who it was. I never even answered the guy. It was some kind of expensive target, or he'd put a lot of work in on or something. So I'm sorry about that. If you want to write me again, and we'll get back with you on that. It just dawned on me. So anyway, we're having fun making videos, even though it's cold and leaves are off. Spring is on the way. We want it to be a nice spring. We want it to be a spring when magazines are legal, right, of any size. We don't want a lot of negative legislation having passed, you know, come April, come May. So we've got to work on that right now. That's it. Lots of people are giving you great information, and it's up to you and it's up to me to do something with that information. Okay, it's the things I've been preaching forever. We've got to represent ourselves well, not be our own worst enemies, because so many of the people who will make a difference in the laws as to whether or not they're passed are those people in the middle. It's you know, I don't hate to use that overused phrase, soccer moms, but it's those folks who are not necessarily against guns, they're not necessarily for guns, you know, and we got to win their hearts and minds, and it's an ongoing process. Again, we can never relax again. Those days are gone. We've seen the enemy, we know who they are, we know what they want to do. They don't want us to have anything, basically. Look at New York. Look, well, they're down to 7 rounds. I think Maryland's trying to get it down to 5. You know, next it'll be 3, 2, 1, done. We know what they want. There's no mystery anymore. There's no debate about that, what the folks want. In Colorado this week, as I understand, I think the legislation maybe hits this week as a critical time for that. I almost forgot to mention that. They're proposing some things in Colorado for, I mean, just like draconian measures in terms of magazines and firearms. You can't even make a firearm in that state, and if this passes. And that's what the problem is with Magpul. You may have heard about Magpul. They're based in Colorado, and you know they're going to be out of business. You know, if that passes. So, excuse me. Get a little bit of cold going on here. Sorry about that. Probably caught a virus from one of your computers. Probably somebody who's watching these videos all the time, day in and day out, and so it's had contact through the computer screen. So anyway, whoever it is, thanks. But Magpul, great company, you know, they're really innovative, and I don't have any stock in Magpul or know anybody there. I just wanted to mention that anybody that's making a lot of products and is a real supporter of our endeavor here, hate to see that happen. And of course you find folks in Colorado, it seems ironic, you know, people think of Colorado as being, you know, out there in the West, in the good old days, and where there shouldn't be any restrictions. But I know, I can tell from what's been going on there that it's not exactly an ideal place to live in terms of the legislation that's being proposed. You're kind of at the mercy. It's like living in Illinois, you know, living in the woods like this in Illinois. You're at the mercy of what goes on in Chicago, right? And New York, upstate New York. I've been through there a couple of times. It looks like Tennessee. I mean, it's beautiful. Lots of wide open country just like this, and you know, Colorado, Illinois, lots of beautiful land, but it's what goes on at the state capitol makes the difference. So you all see what you can do, man. Motivate your friends, get the letters written across the country even, and we can help you some you know, from out of the state of Colorado. But anyway, lots of stuff going on. We're still trying to enjoy the hobby, which we are, continuing to do shooting videos, but we're going to also keep that other thing going where we're working on our legislatures as much as we possibly can. You've got to do it. Don't just think you're going to do it. Don't just make a note that you're going to do it, that you're going to write the letters. You've got to do it, okay? Physically do it, because in a couple of months, you know, you're going to look back and say, well, you know, I really should have been a little bit more active. Okay, other than just kind of commiserating with my buddies down at the shooting club or something, because that doesn't really have a lot of effect, does it? So anyway, a little preaching from Hickok, a little chatting from the vlog, and you know what? I've got to take a shot before I go. I just know, since I happen to have a firearm, you would expect that, right? All right, let's see if it'll work. Oh no, I think I hit an ant. Sorry about that. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later. Life is good.